Hey everyone, Commander Josh Hawkins here, and welcome back to the Brocast. That's right, it's Sunday, it's 3 p.m., and I am joined by the regulars. I've got Commander Shibuka here.
Hello there!
Commander Greytest.
Helonium!
And Commander Turgent Starstone.
Alright all.
And today, as you could see by the many titles on our thumbnail right over here, we have a lot to talk about. Apparently just, this morning was it discovered?
I think it's late last night.
Late last night? Late last night, Commander Lexic, who is one of our very own bros, as a matter of fact, discovered the very first generation ship, so we're definitely going to go check that out. There's some discussion on the Formidine Rift, the fate of Salome, and just for some extra fun, we're also going to talk a little bit about Oculus Rift and VR. So let's get the show on the road. I'm going to switch us over here to Elite Dangerous. I've got the game loaded up, and we are going to go check out the generation ship. So how are you guys all doing in chat there? I see lots of salutes going on. And today the generation ship says Resench. And, oh gosh, there are a lot of people waiting in there already. So hello, everyone. I'm not going to go through the whole entire list of salutes in there.
Slacker.
Oh,
Yes, I
you
am a
fixed my
slacker.
Twitter handle. Wow.
I did.
Yes.
Aren't you happy?
I
fixed
so
it
happy
just
in my
for
pants
you.
right now.
Hooray!
It's not that kind of show, Great Test.
No, it is really not that type of show. All right, so let's first of all, you know what? I can pop up my chat so I can actually read a little bit easier. I wish there was an easier way to get the dark chat. Oh, you know what? There is. YouTube's a little funny like this. If I want to switch to the dark chat, yes, the dark chat.
The dark
Yes.
chat.
Do they
I
have
have
cookies
to
there?
first open up YouTube Gaming. That's what I have to do now.
Cookies are no good though. You need stroopwafels on the dark side.
Stroopwafels,
Dear
yes.
Lord.
There we go. Now I have the dark chat. I don't know why I can't get it the other way. Okay. The dark pop-up is what I call it. Yar. Now I can actually see the chat. Okay. So, we're going to go check out a generation ship.
Got your transit van there, I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Driving the old taxi.
That's what I'm riding. The good old taxi.
White van man.
So, let's see.
Get out of the way. Whoa, where'd you get your license? In a cracker? That's what you are. White van man.
What is the name of the system that I have to go to, gentlemen? I know you guys are there right now.
It's Alonus.
A-L-O...
A-L-A.
Oh, A-L-A?
A-L-A-U-N-U-S.
U-N-U-S. All right, let's see. It's not even that
This is the
far.
thing that-
Excellent.
Yeah, well, this is the thing that would, you'd think would probably surprise people, and then you think about it, and you think, well, no, it's a generation ship, isn't it?
It is. And you know what?
Talking
Just
pre-FTL here, people.
Yes.
for anyone
so
who's
freaking cool.
watching and wants to
Sublight.
join in, we are playing on the J. Hawkins private group right now, so you are much more than welcome to come and shed some light, so to speak, on the generation ship. Apparently, there are some audio logs to listen to there, and we're going to get to listen to them live, so we'll take a good look at it. But the ship is quite dark, so anyone who does want to come in and join in, you could literally shed some light on the situation by turning on your ship's lights.
It's total Ridley Scott territory.
Apparently, it's
Oh, look
very
at that nice
eerie.
takeoff.
Me? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about? No. I
Head,
wasn't
head
talking
over
about
heels across the planet.
Yeah, that's it. I flipped upside down. So, as you can see, we are going to the Alanis system, as Turgeon was so kind to just spell out for us. Hang on a second. Is there a dog in here? There is.
Unprofessional.
Hey. I don't know how the little bugger snuck in here, but I'm going to have to let him out. So, before I make the next jump...
He probably warped in there.
Actually, no, he's just chilling. I'll let him chill there. All right, Yoda, you can stay there.
If we're in open. No, we're not in open. We're in the J. Hawkins private group,
Yeah, we are in the J. Hawkins private group.
which is pretty much the de facto Brocast group, really.
Yeah, so we're heading to the system that you can see on the screen right now. 5 jumps to Alanis, A-L-A-U-N-U-S. And once we get there, there is a tricky way to find this generation ship, but we will give you guys full instructions, and if you watch as we are streaming right now. You'll see how we do it, and then you can come and join us, because apparently it's not that easy to find. So we should have had Lexic on here to talk to him about his discovery. Actually, is he in the chat right now? Any possibility that he is in chat?
Not sure. He did message
Don't
me
see it.
like the entire story about how he found it and everything, but
He's probably beating journos off with a stick right now.
Well, if he jumps in here, then
I don't see him online right now.
tell him to send someone a message, or just PM one of us, and we'll drag him in here, and he can tell us all about how he found the generation ship, because there's definitely a good story behind it. And if he doesn't jump on, then Shibuka, you can tell us how what he explained to you.
yep.
But very excited to see some of these audio logs. I didn't have a chance to see or to listen to the audio logs on the Formidine Rift ship, which you made a video on, Shibuka.
Yes, yes.
Which has turned out to be quite popular, I think.
I was a bit surprised, not gonna
A
lie.
little surprised, hey?
I uploaded that video at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, oh dear God, what just happened?
I think it's now the most popular video on your YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken.
By a large margin.
Shibuka's claim to fame right there. And what were you saying? Something about a particular gaming outlet was talking to you? Who could that have been?
Yeah, Eurogamer is going to run an article on the Discovery.
Very cool.
That's
Eurogamer's
pretty cool.
running an article on it. And did they interview you? I mean, like, what exactly went down with that?
He messaged me on Reddit and wanted to ask some questions, but since I wasn't the one who actually discovered it, I contacted, it was Jackie Silver from the Children of Raxa was the first one there.
Okay.
So I gave him her information so he could ask her some questions on it.
Okay, hang on a sec. The dog is getting riled up here a little bit. I'm definitely going to let him outside before we continue this. Give me one second.
How much
Professional.
impact did the feature in the newsletter have? Did you see any spike there?
Oh, absolutely. It was, God, it's been kind of crazy watching it, and I've gotten like 400 subscribers from it.
Oh, that's
Ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It was worth it. I mean, I stayed up
All right.
until 3 a.m. in the morning making that freaking video.
And I can't mention it enough. I still think it's the perfect video right there. You got
It
the
is,
compilation
it's
and
excellent.
all the editing just right, and the commentary as well.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out though to Miguel Johnson, a fellow broadcast
Yeah.
listener.
Yes.
I used his music for it, and it was perfect.
How many times I
like the
have
fact
done that?
It's a bit like a sort of David Attenborough of a job, I think, because you're not intrusive on the video. A lot of people put themselves first when they make these kind of videos. Look, here's me at somewhere, and you didn't. You just did it like it was a,
I was
natural history.
just being myself,
documentary.
Turgeon. I was just being myself.
A professional documentary maker. That's what you were.
That's right.
Give me a job in Nat Geo.
Shibuka, the racing reporter.
They're racing what?
Reporter.
Yeah.
They're racing
Reporter.
reporter? What?
Well, you raced to the scene and reported on it, I think
Oh,
is what
yes.
Greatest is trying to
I
say.
am the racing
Racing.
reporter. Yes. Well, I didn't actually race to the scene. I just
You just
multi-crewed onto.
So,
Somebody
you-
else was there, and I multi-crewed onto their ship. That's how I got all that footage.
So you stole footage from someone else's ship?
No,
My
I actually-
goodness.
I got the footage. I just wasn't exactly there.
Shows how useful multi-crew is for cameras, doesn't it?
I'm saying. I was
That's
actually
awesome.
talking to Obsidian Ann about that because he messaged me when he was going to put it in his video. He was like, "So did you fly all the way out there?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I
Just hitched
I
a
am
ride
not-
on the
no.
Hollow Me Express.
I was like, you understand, Obsidian, and we're gonna find so many uses for 2.3. It's not even funny.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I don't have a discovery scanner on this ship, do I?
Not.
don't need one.
No, I don't. Well, I have to find the planet.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think
Wah,
that I see.
wah.
What is this? Oh, there we go. Low-wake Commander Sinclair research. Just Well, thank you very much, Commander Sinclair Research, for telling me exactly where it is. So, let's explain this.
Cheaters.
Since I can't
Cheaters
find the
everywhere.
planets myself, there is an easy way to find it. It's not that complicated, really. What you got to do is when you get into the system, you do need a discovery scanner so you can ping the planets. But apparently, what you do is you go to the 10th planet, and then once you
It's
go to the
the first
10th
one.
planet, you have to point yourself towards, let's see, which system is
Hold
it?
on. I have been watching Discord, and I think Lightning messaged us.
Yep.
Oh, did he? Okay, awesome. Maybe we can grab him in here just as
Already
we
told
get
him
to
to
the ship.
jump into voice. I'll drag
Okay,
him
cool.
in one season.
Yeah, I was about to read his Reddit post, but I decided not to.
Okay, well, once you get to the 10th
There it
planet,
is.
what you're supposed to
Nope,
do is...
just hold
Incoming.
on, Josh.
Okay, he'll explain it.
Hey, what's up, Lightning?
Hey.
Hey,
not
man,
much.
how's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
Congratulations on your discovery.
Thank you.
I think everyone in the game is heading out there right now to go check out your claim to fame.
It definitely seems like quite the popular spot right now, that's for
No
sure.
kidding. Well, now that we've got you in here, I was just about to explain how to find it, but why don't you go ahead and... Well, here, let's do a quick introduction. So wait, how would you like us to introduce you? Which name do you want us to go by?
Lexic is fine.
Lexic? Okay, because I know
Yeah.
you have a different name in Discord, so... all right, so this is Commander Lexic, who's just joined us right now on the broadcast, the original discoveree of the Generation ship. So welcome to officially being on the broadcast, and would you tell us, very kindly, tell us how exactly did you make this discovery?
Yes, thanks for having me. So, a couple days ago, the Hutton Truckers came into Cannon with a listening post that they could not figure out how to get to the location it was pointing at. So I decided to just pop in and help them out, and it turned out that there were some words that you could easily pick out that didn't really fit with the narrative, and those words were Alanis 1022 towards and Hore. So you can kind of pick that out, and if you piece it together, you can get like Alanis 10, like the planet, and then 22 towards Hore. So like the 22 is like a distance, is what I'd assumed. So I went to planet 10 and just flew towards Hore until I found it, and it ended up being 22,000 light years out.
Light seconds.
9 seconds.
Light seconds, not light years.
22,000
long
light
way.
years, holy crap.
It was a long time.
It's about towards the core.
And did you, like, I mean, when you looked at it and you were like, I think that's what it is, did you expect that you were going to be right, or were you kind of expecting not to find anything at all?
I was expecting to be right, but I was half expecting FDev to manage to miss putting it there for some reason. Because after the Rift settlements, you kind of never can be too sure what it is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very
So
true.
when it did pop up, what was your first thought? What went through your head?
Actually, my friend Ethel was first to actually get there, and I was close behind. But when I saw it pop up, it was kind of like, oh, so it's a thing now. And
Yeah, because you have to keep in mind, like, this was a mystery, like, from way back in the old Elite games, right?
Yeah, even back
yes,
then,
it was
and
mentioned
you've
back then.
seen
Yeah.
mention of the missing pop up in Galnet every once in a while. So it's kind of just this amazing overarching thing that no one's ever really found before. And to be a part of a discovery like that is amazing.
And not only is it a visual discovery, but there's I just found it here. It just popped up on my screen as well. But there are audio log files as well. So you listen to the audio log files. You guys were the first ones to listen to it. What were your thoughts when you listened to those log files? Which, by the way, everyone in the broadcast is going to be able to hear in just a couple of seconds here because we're coming up on the Generation ship. But tell us what you thought about those.
It's definitely very creepy, but you kind of sit there and you get, like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's kind of like it gets the gears turning in terms of like what you think that it could possibly be connected to, because there's the Cerberus plague is kind of like what's described, because the issue kind of going on was that they had a issue with a plague, so it's kind of, you can
I did not even think of that.
think that there's
Dun, dun,
think that there's
dun.
something going on there at least. possibly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
And you also kind of like get the idea of how old it is, and like all I really want to know at this point is more about its past, more than what we already know.
And its companionships, I would figure, because how far is that system away from Sol?
50 light years, around thereabouts.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry.
Aha, you've made it.
It just popped in on my screen too as I dropped into the system. It like literally
Yeah.
instantly appeared. Wow. Okay,
It's
yeah,
enormous.
that is a very big ship.
I see you there. Yeah, Shabika and I measured it earlier. It's just shy of 5 kilometers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Just
about
shy.
4.25 kilometers long.
And look at that
Um,
shield on the front there.
I will say I
Lights
dropped
on.
into this for the first time in VR, and I had
Lights
a
on.
major sphincter pinch moment.
Yeah.
It was like,
It was
oh,
total
hello.
Total Shibuka geek out, you know. It was one of those.
Oh, and you know what? Not to take focus away from the generation ship here for a second, but or yes, to take focus away. But here's one of the new paint jobs. The what do they call these? The pulse paint jobs.
yeah.
Look at that. Is that
If
ever
you want to
cool
see
looking?
something real cool, Josh, you need to find me.
He's got the Ravager ship kit.
Okay, well we are gonna go. Oh, look at this on the shield in the front. You can see the damage marks where they must have impacted
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
micrometeors or something. See, that's so smart. Look at
If you
that.
want, the logs entries kind of go from front to back. They're not. I think one of them's not in total sequence, but that's pretty much how they go. So.
Yeah, scan them all
And
first
they
and
won't
then
they
play
won't
them later.
play until you actually until you actually select them from the list. So if you
Okay,
you
well,
like-
I'm not going to play the audio logs yet. I'd like for Lexic to tell us a little bit more about his
yeah, if you
discovery,
collect
since
it,
he was the
if you
first
collect
one.
them
But
all, you play them all in one go.
while he does that, I'm just going to position myself here to get some external shots, and I'll go into the camera suite while he tells us a little bit about it. So, tell us a little bit more about this discovery. You were the first one here, so what have you learned? I mean, without spoiling the audio logs, we'll play through those a little bit. But I mean, overall, what are your thoughts on this discovery, and how do you think it's going to change the game?
I think that it's very cool, and I just kind of wish that they had implemented more of its history rather than like the event that caused it to become a derelict ship. That's like my
Yeah.
only real issue with it. But other than that, it's fantastic to find something that's been a mystery ever since the original games. And so it's just one of those things that you kind of never expect, but then you're sitting right in front of it and there it is, and all of a sudden, so. And the
Yeah,
audio
and
logs are definitely a nice touch.
I do imagine, knowing Frontier, that there will be a Galnet post about this discovery, and I imagine that there will be a subsequent Galnet post where somebody in-game reacts to it or like researches it and finds out something about it, and we get a little bit more info through a Galnet post or something.
Now, there doesn't seem to be any physical damage to the ship, but it's clearly derelict. There's no lights or anything on this thing, blinking or flickering or anything.
Yeah, and it may or may not be of interest to Starstone Industries.
I mean, let's take a look at the ship. So at the very front, you've got this massive shield, which is clearly there to protect the rest of the structure behind it from taking damage from any type of impacts, micrometeors, or any type of little fragments that might be floating in space. So we'll go scan those in a little bit. You can see it's sort of attached with some type of like umbrella structure here,
and-
just to keep
and
it
How
stabilized.
dark the front of that shield is how dark the whole ship is. You can only see it because we've got lights.
Yes,
That's
well
as it should be.
that's why I wanted to get a whole bunch of people over here to light it up and actually give us a little bit of contrast on there.
Well, I'm
It's
parked in
got-
the middle of the cargo racks at the moment. I'm being a spotlight in the middle of the cargo racks. If I turn my lights off, you'll see where I am.
It does have a few blinking lights right over here. Now, are these the data points that are blinking? Is that what I'm looking at?
Blue
Not
ones,
all.
I think,
I
are
think-
data points.
There's some Ridley Scotts going on here, and definitely sparky blue ones that are just there because.
Okay.
I believe some of them are data points though, because there's one around there where you're looking at on the stream right now, the blue blinking stuff. I believe that there's one there, actually.
And then we have what appears to be 3 habitation rings. And of course, they're rotating to create artificial gravity, which, unfortunately, they would have to be considerably larger than this to actually recreate artificial gravity, but that's okay. We won't get into the physics of artificial gravity.
Keeps the
A little
tea in
bit's
your
better
mug,
than
you know.
nothing, exactly. So here's
Keep the tea in your mug.
And it's kind of interesting, too, because you could see the corridors between the different levels of the rings as well, and I'm assuming that the rest is like water storage and filtration and stuff in there, so that's kind of cool that they have those habitation rings. And then here is what appears to be some type of cargo rack of sorts. I didn't look at the advertising on there. Maybe someone can fly over and light it up, or I can go and check it out in a little bit. Shibuka, do you want to run over or fly over to these ones here? What does it say? It says...
Give me a second and I'll...
Because I'm curious if any of these have... like, if they're like older companies that don't exist in the game anymore, you know? I've looked at these on some of the other ships before, and I didn't recognize all the names, but... It'll be very interesting.
You've got Grant Taylor there, and you've got Interstellar Shipping, I think it is, which is a
Interstellar
an odd
Logistics.
Yeah, it's an odd company to have on a generation ship, you'd think, unless it's like one that wants to be the first interstellar shipping company, and so they called themselves that before things were interstellar.
And do we have any lore on these guys? Grant Taylor and Interstellar Logistics? At all?
There's a massive document full of all the known company names and everything. I'm not sure if anyone's
oh, here's another one.
Them yet.
Space Lanes Cargo, SLC. So there's another one right there.
Those cargo boxes are why you know that it's really old, because they're not just all made by series.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, someone just crashed into something over there. It looks like those are the only 3 companies that I see on there right now. Space Lanes, Interstellar Logistics, and Grant Taylor. Well, we know who helped fund these guys. So, I'm sure some interesting stuff will come from that. And then what's after that? I guess the rest looks like fuel. I'm assuming that this is a fuel storage, because then we've got these massive engines in the back, and these, I mean, these literally look like rocket engines. I think that's what it was. It was just like one giant engine, because, you know, these ships did not travel at faster than light speeds, which is why it's only located, what, 140 some odd light years from...
50.
Oh, 50.
Yeah,
well, I guess it depends on what it was.
The first log was in 2379, so it was quite a long time ago.
Wow, then they did make good pace, actually.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the date that they left. That's just the date that the first log was recorded.
Well, here we go. We got a very nice view of this ship, and it is quite long. What did you say? Around 5 kilometers?
Yep, 4 and a bit.
4 and a bit. There it is, folks. The
it's totally Babylon 5, in fact.
And look how big the engines are. There's a Cobra literally parked inside one of them here. Hang on, I just lost my camera angle. And it barely even fills half of the cone on that engine. You could probably fit 4 Cobras in there if you put them all nose to nose.
I've seen someone in Canon fit an Asp in there, so it's definitely possible.
Massive, massive engines. Well, here, someone's coming around in a Corvette right now. Well, they're closer to me, but let's see if they go anywhere near the engines. So everyone wants to fit inside the engine cones right now. Careful, guys. I think they're starting back up. I think they're starting back up.
Look at that. You get about 3 of my DBX in here.
Oh, easily. Oh, the Corvette just damaged the engine. Hey, this is like a museum. Don't touch. Don't touch. Just look.
It's a tomb. It's a military grave. Show some respect.
He's trying to push it. He's in the back firing off his ass. Hey, maybe we can get it going again. All right, everyone in the back, get in the cones
Jump
and just
started.
boost at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh Lord.
Imagine that. Yeah, good luck, guys. I don't think you got enough juice in those
If
engines.
you push enough and then let the clutch come, you might be able to start it up again.
Yeah, let the clutch out. Let the clutch out.
There you go.
I will land my Cobra to this, see how well it does.
All right. Let's go ahead and start scanning some of these data points and hear what they have to say. So we'll start from the front of the ship. I think that's what you were saying is
I think
kind of
that's
start from the
first
front.
one.
Well, Lexic, you've listened to all of them already, right? So
Yeah, I've listened to them all.
does it matter what order you listen to them in?
You can
or
select the order once you have
Yeah,
them all scanned.
yeah.
If you pick up all 5 and then you can play them in correct order.
Yeah,
Oh,
they only
okay.
play when you open them, so you're safe to. It's not going to
Yeah.
pop out and give you the last one right away or anything.
Okay, and interestingly enough, this is where you actually need to use those data link scanners that
The data
appeared
link
on all
scanner.
of our ships suddenly with the most recent patch. We're like, what are these data link scanners? I remember they saw this in, what was it, one of the beta live streams. It was like, oh, data link scanner, yes, and just ignore that. Those are something that we're not going to talk about right now. Well, now we know exactly what it
Here we
is. The data link scanners are used to scan these ship log
Which is-
uplinks.
Which
on
I
the
think is
generation ship.
interesting because before, like for scanning tourist beacons or any other sort of beacon, we didn't need a data link scanner either, so why do we need one now?
Well, it kind of makes sense that a data link scanner would be used to scan things like that, right? I mean, we have them on the SRVs. I didn't quite understand why the ships were able to do it with, like, a basic discovery scanner. It seems like they're completely different technologies. But
I agree that it makes sense, but why would they go the extra mile to implement it just to make it more reasonable? Like, that doesn't sound like FDEF. There must
immersion,
be some-
man. Immersion. It's for the immersion. All right,
Oh, man.
there's 2. Where is the next one? I guess you just kind of make your way down the ship here and find these.
I think I'm pointing at one, and they're not showed for me because I've already scanned them, but I think I've got one lit up directly in front of me.
They should still show up on the radar.
They should, yeah. Where are we?
There are 5 of them, you said?
Yes, 5 of them.
Yep.
Oh, I think this is one right over here. Yeah, there we go.
Gotta get closer, man.
Here's number 3. And I think I saw another one light up over here somewhere. There's number 4, and I'm just missing 1. Go ahead and take a look on the radar for that. You really got to be close to them, though. 200 meters, is it?
Yep, 200
Yeah,
meters.
200 to
close, yeah.
stand.
Okay, let's see. Sub-targets? Oh, I guess you can't... wait, how did you find them on the radar?
Those are all white blips.
Yeah, little white blips, but that you have to be reasonably close to them to show up.
Okay. That's the one I just scanned. Oh, okay. The other one is right over here. There we go. All right. That's all 5. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I see. Awesome. And they're all labeled contagion, which is kind of eerie.
I'm shut up now and switch the sound on your stream to listen to those because I haven't listened to those yet.
All right, and for anyone who is asking me for a multi-crew invite, I'm sorry, I'm in a hauler, and I don't think it has a second seat. So unfortunately, I cannot invite you to multi-crew on my ship. All right, we've scanned 5 of these contagion
All right, so
audio logs.
We'll all shut our faces then, so you can play them.
We are all going to shut up, and we're going to listen to these. How about we listen to them one do you want to listen to all 5 in a row, or do we want to listen to one at a time and then
I would go
sort
all
of
5 in a row.
all 5 in a row?
Yeah.
Okay. Here is
Take it, story.
Contagion Data Log number 1.
Decisions log 2379/2. Nothing out of the ordinary to report. Minor injuries, aches, and pains from the more vulnerable crew members and the usual bout of influenza you'd expect with so many people living in such close confines. It seems the current strain of influenza is becoming resistant to the vaccines we've developed on board. Only thing of note was a minor injury to one of the survey team. Gottlieb sustained a minor laceration. He was taking a mineral sample on a nearby asteroid. The suit got braids, but he managed to apply an emergency seal before anything serious happened. I only hope the sample he took was worth the scar it's gonna leave.
It's the physician's log. All right, number 2.
Decisions log 2387/8. We have an emergency. The strain of influenza infecting the ship has become completely resistant to any vaccines or treatment we can find. 13% of the ship's population has now succumbed to the infection, and so far 8 have died. I've initiated emergency measures and quarantined the infected. The epidemiologist, Dr. Monroe, is working around the clock to find a solution. I'm sure she'll come up with a cure before long.
All right. Number 3.
Decisions log 2463/5. Dr. Monroe made a discovery that has filled me with dread. This contagion doesn't derive from the influenza epidemic. It's altogether more alien than that. The contaminant has no human origin. It comes from Gottlieb, the scientist who was injured a few days ago. Whatever mineral he was taking a sample of must have got into his blood. It's mutated into some kind of virulent pathogen. Monroe is unable to isolate the microorganism that's causing it. It spreads fast. Quarantine hasn't worked and people are starting to panic. We're doing our best to come up with a counteragent, but I'm not sure we have the resources. Precisions log 2499/9. We are lost. Monroe died 2 days ago, and any chance we had of finding a cure for this epidemic died with her. Half the ship's population is already dead, and 98% of those remaining are infected. Teams are working around the clock to vent the bodies into space, but they're piling up so quickly. The riots haven't helped. People are panicking, angry, don't know what to do. When you see your family die, I guess you just get desperate. I don't know what to do. Suppose I should do my job, but it's no use. At least I've avoided an infection. For now. Decisions log 2501/7. I knew I wasn't going to avoid contracting this thing forever. I'm one of the last. This place is so quiet now. Used to teem with life, and now there's just silence along the empty corridors. I should probably go for one last walk. While I still can.
Dun dun dun. Holy.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Lots of somber stories in Elite Dangerous recently.
Quite somber. Now, I think what is going to be very interesting to find out is where is this asteroid that Gottlieb was taking samples from? Because if the ship is stopped, and this is something that we were talking about, I think, before we went live on the broadcast, you were saying, you know, the ship should still be moving, and then we could say, well, maybe they stopped it because this was its destination. I don't know. I can't scan the planets in this system, so I have no idea what's in here. Well, what is in the system, by the way? I mean, planet-wise, is there anything of
It's
interest?
a standard M class with 10 snowballs.
Yep.
Simple
10
as that,
snowballs.
you know. It's the same. It's the kind of planet you see everywhere. The most common system.
Okay, but
effectively.
with the speeds we're talking about here, you would barely notice if it was still moving. Like we would have to wait for days, weeks, months, I don't know, to see if there's a change in the difference to the main star or whatever.
True. Well, no, not necessarily, because I mean, like 0.01 light second. It wouldn't take that long for a ship moving at even relativistic speeds to.
Well, you only have light second differences at these kind of distances. So
Well,
you
that's
only
it.
see one full light second, and that takes quite a while at, I don't know how many kilometers a second these ships were moving at.
I would have to say that this thing was probably moving pretty quick, and 1 light second is halfway from Earth to the moon, so we would be able to see some movement if we targeted a body within the system.
Over a few days, yeah, certainly.
No, not over
But
a few days. Not
I'm
over a
pretty
few
sure
days.
that
The
FM
Horizons probe that they sent out to Pluto was able to pass the moon in several hours. Well, after its launch. I mean, it took 6 hours it passed the moon. So if this thing was going, and you have to assume it's going to be going faster than any probes that we launched today in
True.
2017.
I mean, there's nothing in that system that's ringed or asteroidy or anything. It's just
Yes, but you have to take into account that the
snowballs.
planets are also moving.
But
It could
they'll
be in an
always
orbit
be.
around one of the planets, something like
You
that.
also-
So you can't be
There'll
sure.
always be a few asteroids.
You
in the
also
system. It
have
doesn't
to
matter,
think-
They don't have to be in rings.
You have to think that because it's a game, they had to put it in a system. No. Listen to me. They had to put this in a system within a distance from the main star that is reachable by us. 99.9999999% of the time, this ship was in dark space around nothing.
Yeah.
So there might have been something, like a rogue asteroid or like a piece of rock in between two systems that they stopped at.
They also had to
Except
pick a system that was uninhabited in the bubble, and there's not many of those.
It's very,
okay,
very true.
but there are a couple other things to keep into consideration here. In order for them to stop and inspect an asteroid, they would literally have to stop the ship, because who was it that was saying before, Greytest, I think you said, like, they're not just going to jump out of the ship while it's moving at, 70,000 or 80,000, and we would assume that this thing is moving way faster than that. I mean, you would imagine for the distance. You know what? I'm sure someone in chat can work this out. What year were these generation ships launched?
There's a big long range of like hundreds of years that they were launched. There's
Hundreds of years?
There's no way to tell what year this was launched.
But
Okay,
look
well,
at,
let's
look at
assume.
the timestamps of the messages.
You don't
Those
know how
are
long they
not
were flying,
years.
though.
Oh,
Those
were there
are not
timestamps on the
years.
messages? Hold on, let's take a
Yeah,
look.
they've got a standard date stamp.
It more looks like mission days.
2379. 2379, 2463. No, it's not a year.
Yeah,
It's not a year.
But mission days, on the other hand, would be too short. So what is that timestamp?
Well, you could use years if you're going by like relativistic speeds or whatever, because by then it's just kind of like, well.
True, because they're traveling
Yeah, there's like 140
fast
years
enough to have their own chronometers.
There's like 140 years, if they're years, between the first log and the last log.
Yeah, so
Right.
no, they're definitely not years, because that same guy is not going to live 140 years. Mind you,
I'm
traveling
flying
at
around this
near
thing
light
for-
speed, he
for
would.
docking ports and ship access and this kind of. I haven't seen anything that would immediately jump out as being something like that. So yeah, they probably
Okay.
have to stop the ship and have a look.
I think what someone needs to do is, we know the general date range that the generation ships were launched, right? So let's take
No.
we don't?
No, I mean, it's like from like 2200 to like 2800.
So
They
let's
were
assume 2800 was the very last one. Let's say 2800.
But then you're going to get a whole lot faster speed than if you said 2200. Like it's,
Well, that's
it's
roughly
gonna be-
500 years.
It's going to be like plus or minus 50%. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be ridiculous.
Well, it would give us a general idea as to how fast they would be going. We don't have to know exactly. We know that they weren't traveling as fast as light. or
But
faster
they did
than
have
light.
they did have to stop at an asteroid, and there's no way to determine how long it took them to slow down, how long they.
Well, that's
stopped,
just it.
and the rate of acceleration.
In order for this ship to stop, it takes just as long for it to stop as it takes to speed up. So they would never stop a ship of this size to scan an asteroid. They would have had to have stopped the
Yeah,
ship,
you'd think not.
then
I
scan
agree.
the asteroid, which means that the asteroid would have been around here, or it could have been passing through, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking that it might be like something rogue, as Shibuk said, in between the systems, and it might just happen to have a similar trajectory, and they were able to synchronize with the asteroid and meet up. Because stopping is relative, like stopping
It's
relative
out
to
the
their
question,
starting
really.
system. Yes,
Yeah.
they won't do that, of course, but
That's the point
stopping
of a
relative
generation
to
ship. You're
something
not gonna
on the
stop.
road, maybe.
I don't think that they would stop a ship of this size. Oh,
No,
Luke Groom has
I
joined
don't
the
think
Hawk
they
Flock. Thank
could,
you. I don't.
actually,
I
until
don't
they-
think.
they reach
Yeah.
the destination.
They would not stop a ship of this size because the amount of fuel that it would take for them to restart their progress towards their destination to check out an asteroid would make no sense
Yeah,
whatsoever.
that's not gonna happen.
That might just be a plot hole, though. We might just
It
be
could-
reading
it
way
could-
it could
much
be a
into
plot
this.
hole. We
Look,
could be, but you have to.
You're
I
talking
mean, that's
about
what
people
we
that-
have to do when you
that
have something
justify
like this.
and explain and find reasons for plot holes. You know, that's what we
Exactly.
do. isn't it?
And
Yeah.
and if FDev is going to create a
What
story
most
like
journey
this,
travels is.
if they're going to create a story like this, they can't just create a story that's full of holes that's never going to get filled. So this raises another question: how we already know about the Guardians, we know about the Thargoids, or what we believe are the Thargoids. Is this an asteroid containing another alien type pathogen or race or species or something? I mean, like.
Lexic, why don't you go ahead and explain that Cerberus thing?
So the Cerberus plague, I believe, like I haven't read too much into it. I just remember it coming up at one point, but it was a plague. One moment, sorry. So there was like a plague spreading around like 20 Apiuchi at one point, and there was a CG around it. I don't really remember too much, but it was like a really, really bad outbreak that was like death tolls over 100,000 for
It was like
quite
the
a long
Black
time.
Plague.
Yeah, it was really bad. And this was just like galaxy wide, for at least like human bubble wide.
Well, there is a lot of stuff, a lot more questions that need to be answered now.
Yeah, I'll find Grantham Cabot and ask him. He'll know.
Is-
I think the question for this asteroid they inspected isn't like too bad of a point to start with.
Yeah, because I mean, we could make assumptions, or we can just sort of go, oh, whatever, it was an asteroid. Maybe they stopped the ship. Maybe the ship is capable of stopping and starting back up again. I highly doubt that, mind you. Look at the size and mass of this thing. The amount of fuel it would take to get this thing accelerated to even half the speed of light would just be ridiculous. But I mean, as far as like stopping to inspect an asteroid, I don't think that's the case. I think they would
No.
have done that around
I'm
here
gonna
somewhere.
say again, stopping relative to an asteroid is different from stopping relative to
You'd
your
have
starting
to
point.
you'd have to match the direction,
Yes.
and it would take so much mathematics and so much calculations and so much
And
trouble.
fuel.
I really doubt they would
And-
do it.
And that would have to be one hell
Maybe.
of an interesting asteroid for them to want to stop
And-
this ship
And
to
my
go and
thing
check it
is-
out.
My thing is, you also have to look at it like this: we're sitting here going 0 meters per second. The ship is not moving, so we can draw the conclusion that the ship is going 0 meters per second, just like our ships are. This ship should be moving. This is a game.
You are
play.
going 0 meters per second relative to the ship. Doesn't say that ship isn't moving.
Target the star and see if the distance gets longer.
You'd have to
Well, we
wait
were-
a very long time.
Yeah, we were
That's
just
very
saying
true.
that
That's
before.
what I'm saying. You don't
But
know
yeah,
what
it-
they
it-
did. Maybe
it
they
could
did
be.
actually
Yeah.
get into an orbit
well,
around one of the planets or
time
into
to the
orbit
gravity
around
of
the
the
main
thing.
star. You don't know, and then you won't have any speed readouts
I feel
in
like
the system.
if they're going like I don't know.
I think that they
that one.
stopped the ship. I think that the asteroid would have had to have been close by.
questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
I feel like that's part of one of your videos, Turgeon.
They have some
I
kind
think I
of
probably
emergency
will.
protocols in place.
I'll come up with some
And-
kind of justification, don't worry. It's alright, Dev, I'll
Part
save
of that
your ass.
was to stop the ship so anybody, in that case we, could find it later on, because it's no use if everybody on board dies anyway, that the ship just drifts off into nothingness, if you could at least preserve it in some
Or
form.
keep it from crashing into somewhere and spreading the plague. I
Exactly.
could see that as a reason to stop the ship.
I'm certain they have some sort of protocol for in that case of a contagious thing spreading across all the crews.
Yeah, that
The
does make
Alda
sense.
Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, that's assuming that the crew stopped the ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's clearly nothing where they
anything. You
like.
just
There's
don't
no
know.
there's no planets in here that they would want to inhabit.
Ooh, that's
No,
an
it's just
interesting question.
Your standard snowballs.
Who was it? I just lost it.
If only they'd
crap.
have had horizons back then, they could have
Yeah,
gone down
they
to
could have
the
landed,
planetary
yeah.
surface base and locked themselves in, right, Turgeon?
Absolutely.
Rasinch just asked which direction is Sol, and I think, I can't even select it. I can't even select it because it requires a system permit, and I don't have it.
It's pretty
Good.
far off from Seoul. It's
Oh, hang on. How far off is it's not that far off.
But is the back of the ship facing Sol?
No, the back
Oh.
of the ship is facing the 10th planet, and it's facing towards Hori.
Why is that? Or was that an oversight?
I would assume that that's because it did some sort of gravitational assist at planet 10 to shoot it towards Hori.
That's
So
an
that
excellent
could be-
theory.
It was having is it could have run into an asteroid across there that it was either going to crash into or it was taking an interest in because they needed water or something. So
That
they
is
kind
a
of had to go out
possibility.
and get it out of the way.
Yeah, maybe the asteroid was being used for water, but it sounds more like, there are icy asteroids and there are rocky asteroids and there are metallic asteroids, and based on what they said, it sounded like it was more like a rocky asteroid and not so much an icy one. So
Yeah.
the water theory is sound if it was an icy asteroid, but based on the logs saying, it was a mineral, it doesn't really sound like it would have been an icy asteroid.
I don't know, man.
But it is a good point that whatever that what was his name? Gabriel? No, Galliot? I don't know. That one science guy who took the
Gattlieb?
Yeah,
Gottlieb.
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 Yeah.
Gottlieb. Whatever he found on that asteroid, I mean, I think it only says they took a sample, so it could have been icy or whatever. But whatever was on there has survived in the vacuum of space and in the radiation of space, and it was definitely some sort of organic or other life form, because
Would have
it's
had
not
to have been.
it's no poisoning what the crew experienced, because that wouldn't spread. It has to have been something active that's actively infecting other people.
So don't board the ship is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Full radiation suit.
Yes.
not get a cut on it.
Quarantine zone. I would expect that they would have warning beacons around this now saying, "Do not approach."
Yeah, August Stark says tardigrades. Yeah, that's pretty much the only stuff that can survive out there.
Well,
Hey, you know what? I know that there
Not
probably
my
are a lot of
theories,
questions
I-
in the chat that we haven't actually gotten to, so let's go ahead and just take a quick moment right now. If anyone wants to ask or add their theories, go ahead and put your theory in the chat now, so that we can actually
However
take a
crazy
look
it is.
and however crazy it is, go
Here
ahead
you
and put
go.
your theories in the chat now so that we can take a look
Here's-
and we'll look at the chat and see what
Here's
what you
the
guys
tinfoil.
have.
some theories that I may.
Oh yeah, I see the comment.
Write a story or two.
Here's a tinfoil from chat. Forex Massively Average says, didn't the Guardians specialize in biological weapons?
They were bioengineers, yes, certainly were. But their stomping ground was quite a distance the other way.
Hey,
as far as we
Scout
know.
is saying that Michael Brooks said that the later generation ships had FTL.
Right, but that's an assumption we can't make because we don't know when this was launched.
We don't know.
And we would also
Yeah.
assume that this one does not, just considering the distance that it is.
And
So-
also the thrusters on the rear kind of lends
look
you
very
that
old,
those are launching thrusters. Those aren't maneuvering thrusters.
There are a couple
Yeah.
of large solar panels on the back and the engine section, but other than that, there's no visible power source on this thing.
Shibuka or Turgeon, would one of you please invite Millstone Barn to a wing so that he can get a wing beacon? Let's see. There's a rare commodity shrimp that survives in ice rings in Elite Dangerous, says Justin N. Okay. So not just tardigrades. Faster companionship to look at that thing around the main ship without stopping.
So you're saying it's a shrimp infection?
Could
Yes.
be. What does that say? General Ghost says, my theory is that SDC lulls the generation ship. I guess that's a possibility,
That's-
General Ghost.
That's only a valid theory if you see somewhere on the hull of the ship, a graffiti marking which says "Get good."
Or a
Jade
smiley
Snood.
face in laser.
Yeah.
Jade Snood
Yeah.
says, what if the sun was warmer in the past? Grand cycles, so maybe the closer planet was more hospitable?
You do know that
That would be a
that
long
solar
time.
cycles are like millions of years, not
Yes.
hundreds of years.
Yes.
Oh, and
It's
what was that
Dracula
about
Glen
the...
class? It's probably
Yeah,
hasn't
Mursak.
changed for billions of years.
Mursak likes the Guardian bioweapon thing. Ku Young Woo says, I think there's
that's
some
Chris
alien or zombie inside that ship. That would be cool. I like zombies.
You go in and check out. I'm staying.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going in. Let me go
If
in with
Elite
Space
Dangerous
Legs
turns
and
into a
VR.
zombie game, I'll be very happy, actually. And then
Absolutely.
Only if we can have a face hugger jump at Shibuka.
Nope.
Axel Lab says, maybe the
Nope,
Guardians
nope,
tried
nope,
to
is he
stop
saying.
humanity from spreading before they went extinct.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Possible.
Shibuka can do it.
This is, New Joker says, this is the aliens' rebuttal to the mycoid human-created virus.
I
some
think
good
I
stuff
think
coming in here.
That would be
I do
interesting.
think that my only
'Cause it would be the other way around.
my only thing with that is I'm pretty sure if the Thargoids wanted to take us out for revenge for the mycoid virus, they wouldn't put a pathogen on a lone asteroid that had like a 0.0000001% chance of humanity
Ever being
passing by it.
found or sampled.
Certainly.
And also keep in mind
Well,
that
they
it
could've
infected the
planted
guy's
it.
blood because he scratched his arm up against it too.
They
So
could have planted it though.
There
Yeah,
was
but
something that
could
I heard that
they-
was very similar. That was like the asteroid was instead like a dead Thargoid ship from mycoid, and they all just got mycoid, and that was the
Well,
issue.
Considering
I
the data,
could-
this thing, mycoid virus didn't even exist when this ship was doing its thing. You know?
Ku Young
That's
Woo is
very
also
possible.
asking why our current technology is unable to scan the megaship for life signs. That's an excellent question. We don't know.
I have a feeling it's the limitations the Pilots Federation has put on our ships.
Yes, they don't want us to detect life signs.
Yes.
Well, we have to be very though because we
Would want
do not
us to
know
detect
the time
them.
frame.
We are the Pilots Federation. They just wouldn't want the Federation and the Imperials and the Alliance to do it. They'd want us to do it because we're them.
We do not
That's
have
true.
the time frame, so you cannot make assumptions. Like you
Oh.
don't know how long this ship is actually floating dead here.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
the real answer
guys.
to your question there is you cannot have devices that detect life. They just don't exist. It's a stupid thing.
Here's
How do you
here's
go
an
around
interesting
detecting life?
comment. Here's an interesting comment by Phantom Mask. He says the giant stroopwafel on the front got hit by the asteroid, and they tried to remove it and also analyze it at the same time. Now, although I don't think that the giant stroopwafel in the front would survive an impact from an actual asteroid. I mean, an asteroid that could, like, go
I
and
don't
be
know
sampled.
how big it is. There's different sizes. Like I don't know what the range of asteroids is, but I'm pretty sure they can
Well,
be
there
very tiny.
there are micro asteroids, but the thing is, a micro asteroid traveling at relativistic speeds, getting hit by this thing, it would be completely and utterly obliterated. There would be nothing big enough to cut through your suit and get into your blood.
Unless they happened upon meta alloys on the way out here.
It could be made from.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
hand wave.
I was just going to say your tinfoil's on a little too tight.
Nobody laughed.
It could be made from hand wavium. You know that.
Yes, of course. But I do like that theory. I mean, that actually is that's an interesting idea. I mean, that is
you
a
wouldn't
sound
need
idea
to
that
asteroid
it got
again,
stuck
you.
on the scoop or
Yes,
the
and you
the
never
shield.
know what the actual speeds involved are over that
Fast,
asteroid might
fast.
actually hit.
That's all I'm
don't
going to say.
know.
Fast. Oh yes.
How
yes.
would you know?
Well,
That
How
ship
would
was
we
really
know?
fast as well.
Asteroid was
Because
going
number
away
one,
from the
asteroids.
ship,
Number
and this
one,
thing was
asteroids
chasing
travel at
after
a
it.
minimum 30,000 kilometers. 30,000 kilometers per hour? Is it? No, I want to say it's
30
yeah,
kilometers a second. They tend to go into our
30,000
atmosphere.
kilometers per hour minimum. Okay, usually it's a lot faster than that. Second of all, the ship would probably be traveling at a much faster speed than that as well, because that's considerably slow for a rocket or something that's interstellar. Which means that in relation to one another, anything that hits that shield is going blam, and that's it.
Because in relation to each other, it could either be twice the impact speed or 0 impact speed if they match up.
Yeah, but the
that's it.
chances,
This
it's
is
just
my
the
thing,
chances, though. The
Yes, but
chances
no,
of an
no, no,
asteroid
hold on,
moving.
hold on.
To encounter an
Before
asteroid
you
in
guys-
the first place are just as small.
That's
Before
it.
you guys get too much
Astronomically
into
small.
the argument, we have to remember what Turgeon said. There's probably a good amount of hand wavium going on right now.
Yes, we might.
So
overthink
we
it very
cannot
well.
look too much into this.
We can make up our
Oh,
own
we
reasons.
can. Oh, we
As well as
can.
anything else. oh, yes, we
It's
can.
not a
Oh,
good idea
yes,
to
we
look
can.
too much into it.
Westcliff
Well, I mean,
Gaming
I'm
says,
thinking,
"Why are the
you know,
rings still rotating?"
It
I
could
would
have caught
assume that
up with
that's
an
inertia.
asteroid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they'll
inertia.
just keep. I mean, if it's got good bearings and decent fluid hydraulics in there, they could just keep going for centuries.
Yeah, I
Well,
would
if-
imagine. I would
if
imagine
it's-
they
Why
have very
not?
good bearings.
If it's inertia, that means that they basically have frictionless bearings if it's going on for centuries, then,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yep.
Well,
That
you would
or it was
assume.
going a lot faster to create actual 1G gravity.
It might have
It's
originally
slowing
had
down.
1G, and it's
And-
gone down
And
now.
you know what? If you look at the
It's slowing
size
down.
of those rings, I mean, I have not measured the size of the rings, but just the actual mass and inertia created by something that massive, even with shitty bearings, they would still spin for a really
But,
long time
no,
in space.
I have to give Lexic a point there, because if it was shitty bearings that actually slowed those rings down, then the whole ship would have started turning in the meanwhile, and it doesn't.
That's very true.
You're absolutely right. So they would need frictionless bearings.
Yep. And they were
The film
never
Sunshine
really fast
or
unless they slowed
Sunlight
them
had
down.
the same dish setup and didn't blow up. I'm not familiar with that film, Spooky.
Yeah.
But if
And
you want to
you could
expand
be
on
talking about,
that in the chat.
magnetic.
I did see
bearings, it could
Sunshine.
be
That was
Gaussian
one of my
bearings,
first very intense films I saw.
What is it?
But
What's it about?
It's about the sun dying and running out of fusion fuel, and they're basically like dropping a huge nuke with all the remaining splittable nuclear fuel on Earth into the sun to reignite it or something. and they it's ridiculous. But they have this kind of huge
That's awesome.
heat shield on the front of the ship, kind of similar to this, but even bigger in relation to the rest of the ship, to shield them from the heat of the sun while they're coming in.
Well, that's fantastic, but I mean, I hate to say it, but you could drop the entire Earth into the sun and it wouldn't be
know.
enough to spark it back up.
But
And
I
our
think-
atmosphere is
I
like
think
so
that was
thin,
the
there's like
notion
nothing
of
there.
of the movie.
That's pretty funny, though. I think that would that's definitely strong science fiction right there.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on in the jet. They definitely didn't slow down. I got stuck in them with the Conda earlier today. Okay. I think the same conspiracy like the Formidine Rift megaship, they sabotaged the ship. I think that the Formidine Rift megaship and this one were sent off at considerably different eras. So
You
I
can
don't know.
see it by their design alone, and yes, that's two completely different stories we're talking about.
Primitive. This is very primitive.
Tim is saying, I heard the streams got shorter. Does that mean it's time for the Dutch challenge now?
He
Tim,
just sent
yes,
me one,
the
yeah.
stream did get shorter.
It could be. Yeah, I put
we
it
can
in
certainly
admin.
do a Dutch challenge shortly. We'll have that in admin, so we'll get the Dutch challenge going here soon. I'm just reading a
I
few
have
more of the
the,
comments, and then we'll get
the
on to other
officially
topics.
pronounced version as well.
The ship wouldn't have been constantly accelerating. You wouldn't need centrifugal gravity if it was constantly accelerating, just thrust gravity. That's true. If the ship was accelerating at a constant 1g, then you wouldn't need the centrifugal force of the spinning habitation rings in order to create gravity there. It means that they would have accelerated to a certain point and then stopped, and then once the acceleration stopped, you would need the gravity on the rings in order for people to have gravity.
Right.
But that makes sense too. I
Not
mean,
viable though, because with those kind of nozzles, you're talking about classical propulsion in the form of generating heat and exhausting gases out the back, and you can accelerate for maybe a few hours if you have large amounts of fuel. But after that, you're empty. Like
You're floating.
there's
Yeah, it
just-
looks like
you
a
cannot have
chemical
enough
engine.
fuel to
Yeah.
accelerate over years with this kind of drive.
But,
That
Mr.
is
Gibbard
true.
says they could have sent out a shuttle to survey the asteroid, but they couldn't. I haven't actually found any docking bays, so it doesn't mean there's not any there, because they
yeah,
might
it doesn't
not like what we used
look
to.
like it. But you would
And he
imagine that there
says-
would have to be.
He says,
No,
by the way, it's his
Turgeon,
birthday. Can he have a shout out? Well, of course he can.
Absolutely. Happy birthday. Let's get a happy birthday for him in the chat. Okay, well, there would have to be shuttles on this thing if you think about it, because, I mean, what is the purpose of a generation ship that's going to go to another planet somewhere far, far away to what? Just live on the ship? They would have to get down to the planet somehow.
True, that's what I thought about as well, yeah. I thought they might have had some sort of shuttle to pick up that asteroid as well and align it with the ship in some shape or form, or, yeah, just some means of colonizing something, in fact. I don't know, I
But
don't see anything
Turgeon
on the
is
ship.
absolutely right. I don't see anything on the ship that would show, like, a docking bay of any
Yeah,
kind.
no hangars, nothing.
No.
Now-
I mean, I'm parked on something that I'm using as a landing pad, but it's not meant to be.
And by the way, those
It makes a
cargo
good one for
containers
me.
are huge.
Yeah,
They
those
are.
are massive cargo containers. I mean, they could technically have ships in the cargo containers.
Just saying, they give you like a wrong kind of scale, because you think of our classical cargo containers, but these are like at least 10 times as big as our classical cargo containers we have nowadays.
You know, this thing is definitely not going to land on a planet by itself.
So
And
that-
you would assume that if this generation ship was meant to go out and, start a new colony somewhere, that they would somehow have to get these cargo containers down to the ground, right? So
I
There
have
is-
no
there are
idea
some
how
things
you'd
missing
land
from
a
this ship.
generation ship like this.
you wouldn't.
So it kind of says there must be a shuttle somewhere.
Yeah.
It could be that the
You
shuttle
just
is in one
pile
of those
drive it
cargo
into the earth.
containers.
Well, that's what I'm
You know,
thinking. Maybe they have
The
shuttles
shuttle could be
inside
in
the
one of
cargo
those
containers.
Yeah, and they assemble them en route as they need them or something.
It's definitely not in the engine section, because there doesn't look like
well-
there's any doors or anything on the
Well,
engine
I'm
section.
parked on the pods just behind the shield, and they've got to serve some purpose. All these pods sitting here.
I think those are. I mean, I would assume that those are probably like filtering systems of some kind. Maybe water filtration, waste recycling.
I was on DJ Truthstayer's stream. I was watching his stream earlier, and he had mentioned that perhaps the engine itself was the shuttle that they were using to get down and up. That way that they can kind of bring it back up and reattach to the generation ship and keep moving if they needed to.
Possibly, although. I mean,
would need
the
to be
engines on this thing are.
reusable rockets, and they would need to have its own fuel source. Because I'm not think you're taking those huge fuel tanks down
Well,
with you.
That's a nice
No,
idea.
that's it,
but
right?
from what I've seen, the only other power source on this thing is solar panels, and they're on the engine block at the back. So if you took that off the rest of the ship, you'd be taking its solar panels.
I mean,
off.
they might have some sort of reactor inside. You never know, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
they
sure
could have.
this
I don't know
like
what's in
the
these
engine
pods.
part at the back looks like the only part that actually could make it down to the planet of the surface and back up again. So I agree in
It
that regard.
does. It really does look like the only thing that could
And you have to
potentially
remember
make it
that
down
these
there.
ships were like, from our current point of view, far in the future, like at least like 200 years in the future. So I could imagine that technology to do that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really look like purpose-built. You would imagine them
No,
to be
not
coming up
really,
with
huh?
something better than detaching the main drive and taking that down to the surface.
Yeah, I know. It seems
Because
very inefficient.
It is kind of a big risk. Like that would seem to me like a one-time thing when you found your destination planet. That then you take this back section off and bring it down to the planet. But just the
Yeah.
risk of damaging it would be too high to make sure you can bring it back up and carry on if it's not your planet or something. You know.
Can we get some light on this back engine here? Can we get a few commanders bring their ships around and just light up all the different sides of it? Because it does look like the only part of the ship that actually has like some different types of panels and everything. Although I just don't imagine people like hanging out in here. It looks like this would just be dedicated to, you know, proper
Engineering.
fuel.
Does it have a name, the ship, by the way?
I didn't
No,
see any name
there's
on
no,
it.
Oh, yeah,
no
it's
designation.
Luca something.
It's Lycaon.
Lycaon, yeah.
Apparently, how it's pronounced. According
But there's
to
no markings on the ship,
my
right?
minimal research. Lycaon with the same route as lycanthropy and other sort of Lycan dog type things.
All right, well, we got a few
It's
people
actually,
coming to light it up here.
Lycaon is the name of it's a Greek mythological name, like so many names in.
What a surprise.
It
Well,
looks
see,
like it
I
has
found it. I'll
like
put a reference
solar
to it.
panels on it, interestingly enough. If you look at this side over here, these actually look like solar panels.
Yeah, there are some solar panels on the back engine.
Or
There's
heat
some
sinks.
Blue
Or
hexes.
heat sinks, yeah, that's possible as well. It could be heat sinks. But if
they are the
like if you
classic
look down
blue.
here by the bottom of the engines, although it seems like a very inconvenient place to put maybe shuttles, these look like they could potentially be like doors that would open up, but I would think that they're more like service panels for the
Service
engines,
panels
if
for the
anything.
engines, yeah.
That's what I would imagine.
But this area has an astonishing amount of detail, especially looking at those solar panels or whatever that is.
Yeah, it does. I just don't see this whole compartment detaching to go land on a
Yeah,
planet,
I don't
but yeah, it's sort of weird. I mean, it's an interesting theory that you know, it would.
It is, but I'm betting the pods, the pretty nondescript pods. For all we know, they could have an end that opens up in a sort of like missile silos have, you know, with slatted bits joined together, arc-shaped pieces.
Yeah, that's true.
We just we don't know what
Greg
mechanisms.
McDougall just said, discuss log 3, other ships. What about that?
What was that? Log
What
3?
other
Oh yeah,
ships?
a reference in log 3 to other ships. Yeah.
Let's see, log 3 again.
My game just crashed again.
Blah 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 blah. Altogether more aliens. Scientist was injured, mutated. Microism colony has spread. Fast coordinating was working. Others started panic. We're doing our best to come up. Where does it mention other ships?
It's altogether more alien
Don't know.
than
Maybe it's another one of the logs. I don't remember
He
other
said log
ships being
3.
brought up. I don't see. I don't
I'm
remember
on log 3
brought up
right now.
I'm reading through it right now.
whatever mineral he was taking a sample
Yeah,
of
I'm
must have
just
been
playing
in
it right
his
now.
blood.
I don't see anything
Mutated
mentioning.
into some kind of virulent pathogen. Rowe is unable to isolate the
I don't see anything there about.
He
other
does say
ships.
whatever mineral he was taking a sample of.
Yeah,
So,
mineral. That's why I'm saying it
does
wasn't-
indeed sound like a rocky asteroid, but it's
Yeah,
not 100%.
that's it.
Like even in ice, you have mineral residues.
He was taking a injury to one of the survey team. Well, you know, considering that they have survey teams, I mean, maybe they weren't going
Yeah,
that
they must have
fast. Let me see what else it says. Succumb to infection, blah, 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 find a solution. No, there's nothing about other ships in here.
No.
Yeah, I think he was.
Half the ship's population they talked about.
Dave was talking about. He might have been talking about the Formidine ship logs.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah. Because there's
Yeah,
nothing
that's
mentioning.
Aurora. Yeah, that's different ship, Greg.
But still, I wouldn't put it past them to have scanned the system they were flying past or aiming for beforehand, and then figuring out which planet might have like asteroids in orbit, and then trying to match their approach trajectory so they can actually get captured and have time in orbit to figure stuff out and take samples and whatever.
Let's just take a quick break from the tinfoilery and just do a very quick intro, or middle of the show intro, I suppose we could say. So if you're just joining in right now, first of all, welcome to the Brocast. My name's Commander Josh Hawkins. I am joined by Commander Shibuka.
Hello there.
Commander Greatest.
Hello, Niam.
And Commander Turgeon Starstone.
Hi, folks.
And we, joined by several other of our Brocast members, are out at the brand newly discovered generation ship out here in the Aranos, is that how you say it? Aranos?
Alonus.
Aranis
I'd call it
Alonus.
system?
AL.
Oh, Alonus. In the Alana system.
Alonus.
Discovered by Commander Lexic, who is also joining us here. Oh, sorry, Lexic, I kind of forgot that you were in here. There he is. You're so quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet. So
I think we just very strong talkers.
Yeah, so we're also joined by Commander Lexic, the gentleman who the commander who actually found the generation ship. In his very quiet presence, he's contemplating all of this discovery and trying to come up with more information for us, I'm sure.
Wouldn't you agree that this is a good occasion to kind of vent our tinfoil and do a Dutch challenge in the meanwhile?
Yes, it is. But before we go ahead and do that, I just want to say very quickly, if this is your first time watching the show, the Brocast is a live show that we do every single Sunday. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday, and today, although we are not doing any events, and we haven't done any events in the past couple of weeks, we do often have events, and we cover mostly Elite Dangerous, but we also cover some other space-related games, and you will often find us playing, different games. So, yeah, that. With that said, I'm enthralled by this generation trip. So I'm like, my mind is completely in the tinfoil right now, and I have to stop thinking about it. If you are new to the channel and you're enjoying the show so far, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up. If you're watching this after the live show has finished, leave me a comment in the comment section below and say, "Mega ships are awesome." Oh, no, sorry, not mega ships. Generation ships are awesome. That way I know that you are watching the show and appreciating it after the fact. And yeah, we do a Dutch challenge on the Brocast. We do this as well every Sunday. Tim supplies us with a phrase in Dutch, which I'm going to bring up here. Oh, it's a short one today. That's nice of you, Tim. Thank you very much. And for the Dutch challenge, we, the bros, have to read this phrase in Dutch and try to make sense of what the hell it says. And we often do a horrible, horrible job at it. So, let's go ahead and bring up the Dutch challenge. Turgeon?
Oh, God. I don't like this one.
I don't either.
Oh, Chris G joined the Hawk Vlog. Thanks for the sub, Chris. Turgeon, where is our Dutch challenge music? Do you want to try it?
Let's see if she's gonna play ball today, shall we?
Let's see.
It's time for the Dutch challenge.
Well, thank you, Cass. She said it was time for the Dutch challenge, so I guess that's good enough.
Jeez, hopeless.
And there is our Dutch challenge. So
This soundboard, I don't know.
yeah.
One of you two should try it. See if it's glitchy on yours.
I should. I should probably have it up here, but I don't know if my computer could handle another window and program running right now.
You want that thing that Bo is talking about, that little box thingy with buttons on.
Oh, like an actual soundboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like an actual soundboard like that. I could probably set something like that up on my iPad.
what she had there is even more sophisticated. It's like a proper streaming extra button thingy with actual displays in the buttons, if I've seen that correctly.
Streams,
Well,
consulting. Yeah,
listen,
little LCD buttons.
Shibuka can tell you this because he was at PAX with me. But when they do live streams, they have some pretty serious setup in the background.
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
like they have people behind the scenes that have like computers running with the stream and a whole bunch of other stuff.
That was just for PAX. Usually their
Oh, that's
live
true.
streams,
That's
Bo
true.
or Ed will handle
Yeah,
all that
that's true.
stuff. But
All right. Well, we're getting off topic. We got a Dutch challenge up on the screen here. Who would like to be the first challenger?
Our guest, maybe.
Oh, yes, Lexic. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give us a shot with that, Lexic?
All right, let's see. Het Wachten Wart Ballooned Na Al die Tiest Keert de Netherlands. Uwit Dodging Weer Terug en Het is better than Uit.
Hey, woo! You know, the real trick, Lexic, is to not think too much. Just read it as quickly as you can. That seems to
just make
really
it
is.
word vomit. Just
Like
make
take
it
Yeah.
your
word
medicine,
vomit.
you know?
that really is the trick.
And
though.
put
Just go.
some sounds in there, you know?
Some
Has
some
a
hood.
afterword.
Every now and then.
Yeah, and you're 80% Dutch.
All right, Shibuka, why don't you go next?
Okay. Het wachten wordt beloond na el die tiest keert de Netherlands. Uit dodging weer terug en het is better than uit. I feel like that was a pretty decent American try.
Sam Zilborg says in the comments, he says, wart balloons are the worst.
They are terrible. Damn wart balloons.
Those darn wart balloons. All right, I'll give it the next shot here. Het wachten wordt beloond na al die tig keert die Netherlands uit de ging weer terug en het is better than uit.
Are you Jewish, Josh?
I-
Het wachten.
Well, Great has said to add some ch in there, so I was adding some ch. And it's the only place that looked like it need a little bit of ch. I had to add a little bit of ch into it, you know?
Oh, jeez.
I'm not gonna go last this time.
Still
I'm doing the
legal
next try.
there.
Okay, Great as you go ahead then. Oh, holy crap. Thank you very much, OXO7AF, aka Innobla. Thank you very much. That was very much appreciated. And quite the surprise, and give me a little heart attack there.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
And your name should appear up on the board in just a second.
It does, right in front of the Dutch challenge.
That was very generous of you. Thank you very much.
Hero Hawkins. Yeah.
Let's
Right.
go. Het
My
wachten
Dutch
wordt
was so good.
beloond. Na al die tijd keert de Nederlands uitdaging weer terug en het is beter dan ooit.
I don't like Gray being on the show.
Gray should have an automatic disqualification. You should never be allowed to read the
I
Dutch
completely
challenge ever
agree.
again.
He lives next
You know
door.
what?
He doesn't live
Next
in there.
time, I'm gonna give you guys scores and Tim as well, and then we compare my and Tim's scores, and we're gonna give you an average of those, right?
Well,
There you
we,
go.
What
we
we
know
do is
it's
have a German challenge and get Tim to record him saying it, and we'll
Or that, where we,
Ray
yeah,
can-
of course, why
I
not?
can challenge him.
we know that it's not fair when Greytest plays because he'll look at the Dutch challenge and be like, "Oh, I know what that means."
No, this time actually not. This time I'm having a hard time to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
General Ghost
I
said
wouldn't
you
have had a clue if I didn't actually have the.
General Ghost said
but
you
you
get
know.
a German out of 10.
A German
Yeah.
out of 10. Right. All right. Well, we got Turgeon is the last one up. So,
All right, I'll
Turgeon.
have a go. Het wachten wordt beloond na al die tijd keert de Nederlands uitdaging weer terug en het is better than do it.
And Turgeon's cheating because he already listened to it in Dutch.
I haven't listened to it. No, I have the translation.
Oh, you
in
didn't?
front of me.
Oh, okay.
But
You heard
yeah,
Gray.
I have the actual sound, but I
Yeah,
haven't
let's
heard
give
it.
Tim a go first and be
All right,
judged
then.
by his
Turgeon, I
performance.
gotta say though, Turgeon always reads it very well. I mean, for a guy who's actually English, your Dutch
Just a minute.
sounds fantastic.
I just do.
That's true.
That's all.
All right,
Do
let's
you want to
hear.
hear what it should sound like?
Let's hear Tim's version.
Let's hear what it should sound like, and we'll all go, oh, for God's sake. Right, here we go.
Het wachten wordt beloond. Na al die tijd keert de Nederlandse uitdaging weer terug en het is beter dan ooit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
wait a second. Wait
No.
a second.
Sound anything-
When he said Netherlands, how did he say it? Naders?
Did you say Nederlands?
I don't
Play
think he
it again.
enunciated
Play it
the
again.
word at
I want to
all.
hear it again.
Het wachten wordt beloond. Na al die tijd keert de Nederlandse uitdaging weer terug en het is beter dan ooit.
I can't
said
follow
Nadels.
that.
Nederlands.
I can.
Nederlands, he said.
Oh, Netherlands.
Nederlands,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Oh.
the first part means the something is being rewarded. After all this time, the Netherlands return to something, but I don't get the last part.
Not bad. I'm going to post it in chat. 'Cause
I think that Tim is using the Dutch challenge to send.
Look at
Oh,
chat.
geez, I'm being cocooned here. I think that Tim is using the Dutch challenge as a means of sending secret spy messages to.
Probably, yeah.
He's like, all right,
Dutch
guys,
people all
make
over the
sure to
world."
watch
Yes,
the
there you go.
broadcast at 3 p.m. I'll send you the secret coded message.
Dutch Secret Service.
That's the Dutch Secret Service. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Rewarded after all the Dutch challenge returns, and it is better than ever. I finally have a Dutch challenge again. That's what he said.
Yay, we finally have a Dutch challenge again. And who does the
right.
Golden Clog go to this week?
Who do you think it goes to?
I think it
good
goes to
heavens, I
Grey
get a
Test.
9. Crazy. I
Oh,
don't think
wow.
I deserve a 9.
Oh, you got a
I don't
9.
think I deserved a
Wow.
9.
Well, that's pretty good, a 9.
Damn.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Netherlands.
I didn't deserve
Noodles.
it, but I'll take it anyway before you
I
take
love
it
how
back.
Shibuka
Mine
has a
now.
6.8.
6.8.
6.8,
Commander Vex
precise.
says, the agents of Stroop. Agents of Stroop.
Oh lord.
Yeah.
Why are people shooting?
Shit.
What's shooting? It sounds like missile defense is shooting. Hey, jeez. Watch out, folks. I have no shields on this ship. Oh,
Whose fault
something-
is that, Josh? You've
something
had
is-
no shields on that ship forever.
Something is getting shot.
Oh, prox mines.
Oh, someone's dropping proximity mines.
So
Okay.
yeah, so it'll probably be point defenses having a.
That's what I was saying. It's point defense. It's not lasers. Someone's dropping proximity mines.
Alright, but I think we have to move on though, because we still have some other topics to talk about.
Yes,
Yes.
we do. Someone's launching mines. I'm gonna stay away from there because I don't want to get hit by mines because I'll just blow up. Shibuka, well, Shibuka, you are our resident Formidine Rift Salami tinfoil.
I'm never
Exploit.
going to be able to forgive you guys for butchering her name so bad. Every
How
time.
hard is it?
It's Josh, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Salami needs a little bit more love in her name pronunciation.
Salome, if you wanted to, because it does have an
Salope.
Salo.
No, let's not go
It's the
Salope.
last syllable you see.
Because a Salope is...
Mine. I love
You should
that.
know, you do French.
I know what that means in French.
I've heard you guys pronounce it wrong so many times. I don't even remember how I used to pronounce it.
You don't even know how it's pronounced anymore, so yeah, you can't tell us anything. All right, well, Shibuka, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on, and we'll talk about the event, and we'll talk about Formidine Rift, and everything that you would like to add in here, while I fly loops around the ship like a monkey.
Yeah. So, what was it? I believe it was late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. The Children of Raxa decoded the second clue that Drew Wagar gave off in relation to the events that are happening this upcoming Saturday, the 29th. And it led to a mysterious mega ship out in the Formidine Rift that's looks like it's connected to the Dynasty expedition that we had those community goal way back in the day where the Federation and Children of Raxa were competing for exploration data from the Formidine Rift, from the Conflux, and from Hawkins Gap. And it looks like this mega ship was part of that expedition. I have to minimize YouTube, Josh, because I can't watch you doing those terrible loops while I'm saying all this.
Terrible loops.
Get a sick bag.
Yeah, we discovered it. There were voice logs in there. If you haven't listened to the voice logs, if you haven't seen the mega ship, you can go to my channel and watch the video that's posted there. I got all the voice logs in there, and you get a pretty good overview of the ship, along with a little bit of color commentary. But anyway, so what happened with the ship was they were part of the expedition. They were dropping off beacons at Earth-like and terraformable worlds. Nobody told the crew why. It's been theorized that what is happening is these Dynasty expedition ships were setting up a contingency plan in case the bubble fell, so humanity had somewhere to run back to. And if you'll notice, the Formidine Rift, the Conflux, and Hawkins Gap are in 3 different directions from the bubble. The 4th direction, if you want to make a square, is out towards Col 70, which is where the event this upcoming Saturday is kind of it's where all these characters have been congregating near 46 Eridani. Did I pronounce that right? Eridani? Donnie? Eridani. So so they found the mega ship, found the voice logs. The voice logs pretty much tell of once the mission was completed, some of the cargo handlers went crazy. They took some kind of medication. There was some kind of brainwashing going on to where they killed the ship, completely made it derelict, and then killed themselves. In which case, the reactor went offline, life support was going offline, and the guy who recorded the voice logs basically froze to death. Really sad story. It's really, really, really good voice acting. You need to go take a listen to it. And then 3 years after that happened, there are some more voice logs that pop up. And we know who recorded them, but it's not obvious from the video logs. They're only signed by the letter R. But this talks about she happens upon the Formidine Rift mega ship. She's talking about, like, it looks like these are, part of a contingency plan, and the answer to why this is going on and who is behind it and everything is back in the core worlds. And I know this causes a lot of confusion because when people hear the word core in Elite Dangerous, they automatically think about Sagittarius, but she's actually referring to the core worlds.
That's what they always were called on the old maps.
Right.
Core worlds and the old worlds, that's what they were called. Lave and Seance and all that, they were the old worlds, and Sol and the others were core. Yep.
But if the person who recorded those voice logs is a character named Rebecca, she would have been the old lady from Drew's novel Elite Reclamation that told Salome about the Formidine Rift and that she had found something. And it is the current theory that this is what she found, this is what she was telling Salome about, and that this is the truth that, or is closely related to the truth that Salome is trying to bring to the public eye. And that's what this Saturday is all about, is her
and all
traveling.
Those spoily funds and the imps and the Fed don't want us to know.
Exactly.
So we want to know, obviously.
Absolutely, we want to know. Now, what it is I can almost guarantee you that whatever Salome knows is more than we know. All we have are the voice logs, and that's it. I guarantee she's got more information.
We don't have the bigger picture of this whole conspiracy behind why these ships were sent out there. But if you look at Col 70, that's way closer to the bubble than the other 3 locations we had previously.
Yep.
So my thinking is that in Col 70 there is something this expedition should actually get away from, like get distance from that whatever is there.
Yep.
There is a comment in here. Where is it? Charles McManamy says, anyone else think that the Thargoids will make an appearance on Saturday regardless of the outcome? And then August Dark says, Charles, the clue from Drew's books say that something way worse than the Thargoids.
Now, the comment Drew made, the comment that Rebecca made in the hospital about something being way worse than the Thargoids, I think the words that she used were, and they thought the Thargoids were trouble.
Yeah,
I think she's referring to this conspiracy and this dynasty expedition to where it's looking like whoever's in charge of this dynasty expedition is basically looking at abandoning the bubble and restarting humanity. Which, if you're abandoning all of humanity, I imagine that's worse than Thargoids.
That would be worse than Thargoids.
It's basically saying, we are worse than the Thargoids. We are.
But you can only abandon someone if they are in distress. So there is some danger suggested here.
Oh yeah. Now that in Rebecca's voice log, she also talks about something is coming and it's bad, and the general consensus is she's talking about Thargoids. Now, if we look at the directions that Formidine Rift Conflux and the Hawkins Gap go out from the bubble, they're going away from Col 70, and Col 70 is currently believed to be the home of the Thargoid homeworld because of where the unknown probe points to, that specific system in the Col 70 sector. So my current theory is, and I think this is widely accepted, is that the Dynasty Expedition is a contingency plan in case the Thargoids invade, in which case humanity is going to haul ass to these 3 locations to get as much distance from them the Thargoids as possible.
Why would they do it in that kind of a secret manner with actually killing all the crew just to keep it secret?
So that only the politicians could get away.
Exactly.
You don't want the rank and file and plebs coming.
You can't move trillions and trillions and trillions of people. It's just not possible.
Top people.
Exactly. They want to rebuild the best of humanity. Only
by which they mean the worst.
Exactly.
Well, there's some interesting comments going up in the chat about this as well.
Hitchhiker's Guide B-Arc territory, isn't it? Is this?
Salome is going to get insta-killed by griefers, says Westcliff Gaming. That is always possible. You never know.
It is a possibility.
It is a possibility.
But then we wouldn't know all this information that the people at the top don't want us to know.
Mog Cleric is saying, I think people are overlooking the AI armies. They became aware and possibly turned on the factions that created them. Yeah, that's something that we had discussed quite a bit, actually.
The rogue AI, and there's I don't know. I have trouble believing that because nothing's pointing to that, and I feel like maybe I'm just overlooking it, but I feel like it's not anything to do with AI at this point.
I think we have the man mainly responsible for that here in voice right now with us.
What, the AI theory?
Yeah.
Well, this was I had the AI theory before I had the Zurara mega ship.
Dry man. It's the dry man.
I'm telling you, I still believe that the rogue AI, that there is some kind of faction of rogue AI hiding out in the dry man sector.
They're out there. They're definitely out there somewhere.
Because dry man is a man without blood, and you got a man without blood. It's a robot. Come on now, people.
Well, why would it be a man?
Sheeple.
Could be a woman.
Do you hear the tinfoil?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna react to that question, Josh.
It could be robot Thargoids for all you know.
It could be
robot
Thargoids.
It could be robot guardians. We don't know.
AI Thargoids.
All right. Gosh, I really wanted to talk about the damn Oculus touch controllers that I got. I know it's like way off topic, but we're like so much tinfoil right now. My brain is hurting. Like seriously.
It's your show. You're the boss. Go on.
No. I tweeted out the other day that I picked up the Oculus touch controllers, which I got home that same night, plugged in, and just had an absolute blast with. And I spent a little bit of time yesterday using them, and I gotta tell you, for anyone who's got an Oculus Rift, if you haven't picked up the touch controllers, they just went on sale. They're from, I don't know what the US dollar price was, but it was like $279 Canadian. They went down to $139. So I was like, you know what, I am going to go buy them. And I was standing in an office store, and I saw that they mentioned something about Oculus Rift, and I said, hey, you know what? Let's see if Best Buy has them for sale. And I called Best Buy, and they had one pair left. So I rushed over there and picked them up, and oh my God. I mean, Shibuka, you can certainly vouch for this because you have the HTC, which comes with, hand controllers, virtual reality controllers. So you know what it's like right from the very beginning to see your hands in VR. I had no idea.
Immersion.
Oh, I had no idea how much fun it actually is to interact with the environment. And I picked up Arizona Sunshine, being a big zombie fan. Actually, it was completely my wife's idea. We were looking at the games together, and we were checking out what was available. I was ready to pick up The Unspoken, which is that spell casting game where you get to like cast spells and summon giant golems and stuff, and you're trying to fight against another player. And she looked over and she saw zombies, and she went, "Well, I mean, how could we not get this if it's a zombie game?" And we're huge zombie fans. My drink is a Walking Dead cup here. We love The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, and every zombie movie that's ever been out I've watched, and I absolutely love them all. So we picked it up, and if you have VR, if you have an Oculus, or if you have an HTC, go get Arizona Sunshine. I would love to do a video on it, but I just don't know how a video would translate with the Oculus Rift. I mean, it might be a little like jaggy with me moving my head around and stuff. It is absolutely amazing. Oh, Vex is saying Superhot is amazing and addictive in VR as well. Yeah, Superhot looked pretty cool, and it's relatively cheap. But, Spooky Lot saying, can you ask Shannon to do another VR zombie video? Honestly, Shannon played the game yesterday. She played it in VR, and she was terrified. She was flailing. Like, I could see her virtual hands were shaking on the screen. And she didn't even get to the point where I was. Like, later on in the game, you going down into these mines, and it's pitch black, and you have a flashlight, and you're, like, walking around with your flashlight. And I swear to God, the environment that they created in Arizona Sunshine, especially the inside the dark caves with that flashlight, was terrifying.
Shannon going, eh.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got a little bit of video of her.
People.
Yeah, what did I get
Shibuka,
video of
it's
her
more
playing?
entertaining.
I don't remember what it was. I got a bit of video on my phone of her playing. Oh, it was Robo Recall she was playing, and
right.
she was having a fun time with that. We
Can
got
you
a little
accept
bit of video.
the private group applications, please?
Yes, I can.
I get the impression she prefers the straight-on shooty to the
Oops.
something's about to creep me out and kill me type thing in VR.
She put it on going, oh, this is going to be fun, this is going to be fun. And as soon as she put it on and heard the zombie, she was like, okay, this is not going to be fun.
Nope.
Nope. In fact, speaking of nope, because I know that Shibuka likes to say that a lot.
Yep.
He likes a good
The
nope.
voice actor in Arizona Sunshine says that quite a bit. He goes like, oh, no, this place is just a whole lot of nope.
Maybe it was Shibuka.
It could have been.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know
like
what I do in my
Shibuka
free
with a
time.
very deep voice. It was
Maybe
amazing.
just pitch shift him. There you go.
That's right.
The whole idea of the game, I mean, like, at its core, all it is. Hang on one sec. That was the Dark Lord just subscribed, joined the Hawk Flock. Thank you, Dark Lord, for joining and welcome. The whole premise of Arizona Sunshine is, at its core, it's a horde-based game where, you stand in a small arena and zombies just come from all over the place and you have to survive. But what happens is that after that, you then have an environment to go and explore to get to the next place. And there's a ton of stuff you can do. You can go and loot vehicles. There's buildings you can go into. I mean, limited buildings that you can go into. But I mean, it makes you feel like you're playing something a lot more than just a horde-based game. Being able to move around in the environments and explore, and there's like little things that you'll come across, and like weapons that you can find, and like every drawer and thing you can open up. The immersion is so real, especially if you play for a couple of hours, that I was standing in front of
6.
Yeah, or 6. I was standing in front of car doors, and if I didn't position myself right, because if you move in VR, it's not like you could just press the stick and move around. You have to like sort of teleport move. That's the way it works. But I would teleport in front of the door, and then I would reach out to grab the door, and then because it was like in front of me, I'd be like, oh, wait a second, I can't open the door because I'm going to hit myself with it. Or I'd open a drawer and I'd be looking over the top to see inside the drawer because it's like on the top of a filing cabinet, and instead of just like reaching my hand through the drawer to pick up the stuff, I was actually like literally like found myself like crooking my arm to get inside the drawer. Like the realism of these environments is absolutely amazing. The virtual reality experience nowadays is just shocking. And when Elite Dangerous allows us to get our hands into the game with touch controllers, which I don't think that's even going to be possible, to be honest, because you'd have to like hold the joystick and throttle with your virtual reality hands. It would just feel very weird. If there was a possibility of that, oh my god. I mean, honestly, Shibuka, do you agree with me that having your hands in VR is the next level?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I think we just had the best comment in chat.
Okay.
Yes, I want to read this. I want to read this.
All right, go for it.
MOG Cleric said, Thargoids are just the ghosts of Star Citizen players who died waiting to play the game they purchased years ago.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
It's so good.
Oh, well, you know what? Star Citizen is coming along. They have their 3.0 is going to be coming out soon, which is going to bring planetary landing into the game. So they must all be very excited to finally get what we've had now for a couple of years. Almost 2 years.
We're catching up with the voice acting. We are.
And that's
Yep.
assuming that they
Very
don't
much
just go ahead and
awesome
somehow
voice
manage to
By the
screw
way,
up.
talking about voice acting, sorry. That voice actor on that ship right here was not the same one. That was not Jay Britton, right?
No, it was not.
Don't think so. No. I mean, mind you, he's got such a chameleon voice.
Yeah.
Well have been, but
Can
I
sound
don't
like
think it
anything
was.
he wants, really.
Okay, you know what, guys? We've got just under 20 minutes left for the broadcast, so why don't we do something fun here? Let's do an impromptu race. Anyone who wants to participate in this, come to the back of the generation ship towards the engines, and we're going to do an impromptu race and just see who here can do a little stunt racing in their ships. So come to the back of the generation ship. I think this will be interesting.
While you guys are setting that up, I just want to let everybody know, as a reminder, Saturday, 6 p.m. game time is the big event to where we have to escort Salome and her friends from 46 Eridani to a destination we don't yet know. If you want to get involved, I am putting a Discord link in the chat right now. You can go to this Discord and sign up on their sign-up list, and you can be assigned to a specific area to hang out in and make sure everything goes smoothly. If you want to be involved, that is a Discord channel you need to go to.
All right. Anyone who wants to participate in the race, come to the back of the ship and target the generation ship. Get yourself to 4 kilometers, please. 4 kilometers from the targeted generation ship, and then stop your engines right there. And once you've gotten
Classic
yourself into
Hawkins.
position...
A war grave, and he's using it as a racetrack. Classic.
Absolutely. Here's what we're going to do. Make sure you get yourself to 4 kilometers, and once you're at 4 kilometers...
You're at 3.99.
Yes, I know, but that's because I'm just going to demonstrate what we're going to do first so that people can see how this actually goes, okay?
10 meters.
So, the lap around the ship is basically going to go like this, and I'll do it slowly just so that everyone can see. You're going to fly, and you're going to cut this as close as you can. You want to be as close to the ship as possible, so you're going to fly right over the surface of the ship. You're going to fly along the fuel pod section here, and then you got to go through the habitation rings. So you got to fly through these habitation rings. Once you've gone through the habitation rings, you're going to come up and over the shield, swing around the front of the ship, down towards the bottom, and then you have to go back through the habitation rings. Again, now this is the trickier part because it's harder to see the ship from this side. Actually, it's very hard to see. Holy crap. Make sure you turn your lights on. And you're going to come back along the bottom or the top of the ship, depending on which side you actually started off on. And you're going to do 3 laps around the ship. Alright, I see there's a whole bunch of people over here. So that's good. Get yourselves lined up. Mostly everyone's in big ships too, which is going to be really cool to watch. I'm going to get myself into a side position over here. And Shibuka, are you, you're in your ship there?
No, GameCube's crashing on me.
Okay. Turgeon, are you there?
No, I popped out.
I need someone with a discovery.
I need the bandwidth to keep an eye on it.
I need someone who can sound a discovery scanner.
You can always do it in chat.
Yeah, I could do it in chat. I guess that'll be how I'll have to do it. All right, I'll sound off in local chat when we're going to start. I'm just going to get my ship into position here to watch the race from the sunny side, so that we can actually see what's going on. I'm also going to record this just for fun. Stop engines.
Cutting engines. Stop here.
Excuse me. Start recording.
Acknowledged.
All right. So, is everyone ready? Can I get a ready in local chat, please? Is everyone ready? I can't do a question mark when I have my voice attack on for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, we've got lots of readies. All right, so what I'm going to do in the chat is I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1, go. When you see go, that's your cue. Start racing. 3 laps. So down the body of the ship, through the rings, around the heat shield, back through the rings, but down to the engines. And then repeat that twice. Roger, Dodger, Roger, Roger. And let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
I missed the last 2 notes.
I think the little ship is definitely going to win. Look at that guy go. Holy crap. Oh, someone's hit the heat shield. Try not to destroy the ship, please, guys.
Wow, that looks cool.
Might be a little too late for that.
Oh, I think some people are getting stuck. Oh my god, someone blew up.
If they're coming from different sides, they're gonna hit each other at the tip of the heat shield in the front.
Yeah, there's a basket around that heat shield at the back.
Oh god. They're getting stuck and everything.
I know people are getting stuck in the heat shield. It's crazy. I think the Orca has already made 1 lap. And there was a tiny, tiny little ship. I don't know, maybe if that was a ship-launched fighter, but
probably on the back side on its way back. You didn't see it.
oh my god, that thing was fast. I don't know what happened to it, though. It disappeared. I can't see the little ship anymore.
Souls, man.
People are like stuck inside the Corvette, stuck in the habitation rings. I gotta go get a close-up of this. Where is he?
Generation ship needs souls.
Oh, well, yeah, I think the generation ship just got another soul. I see some space debris here.
Oh my god. People actually oh, that was
oh, there's one.
That heat shield could sure take a beating, guys. I mean, come on, it's absorbed a few asteroid fragments going at pretty decent speed.
All we're really doing here is extreme testing, really.
Yeah, that's it.
It's for science, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's for science. All right, let's see if I can get
find out. Yeah, how well they built these back then. Yeah, they didn't build them like they used to here now.
Yeah, they don't build those heat shields like they used to. Oh, the Orca just hit the heat shield again on the inside. That's great. If you've already completed your 3rd lap, just head to the engines and go sit inside the engines. Go touch the engines. That's your tag.
The big engine on top is the first place.
If you've done your 3rd lap, touch the middle engine. Oh, we had a little collision there right at the... Oh no! Someone's blowing up! Oh no, they're not blowing up. I thought they were. I saw an explosion on the ship.
No!
Oh, I think someone won. Yep, there we go.
Wow.
All right, let's see who that was. Done. Nailed it. Who was that in the asp that that touched the engine? That was Fat Max. Oh, Fat Max got second. So who got first then?
I think it was the Orca, right?
The Orca? Man, that Pilkatron. And who blew up? I think two people blew up.
I think that was Lucci Coffee.
Was it Lucci? Oh, man.
In his career.
Oh, Pilkatron. Okay, so Pilkatron was first. Awesome. Way to go, guys. A fun impromptu race there. And thanks for participating. Good sports. I gotta avoid these big giant Corvette coming spinning out of control. Oh, jeez. Watch out. Heads up, folks. Alright.
Lord.
I think everyone finished there. Except for the few people who blew themselves up. We seem to be a few ships short of the original.
Yeah, we'll just have to hope that this never makes it to Galnet, because you'll have your command.
It's embarrassing, really, yeah. Brocast responsible for destruction of historic ship.
Yeah, right? Vandals destroyed the heat shield on the generation ship Lycaon.
It was
well,
broken
that was
when
fun.
we got there, Your Honor.
I swear that's the way it looked. Yeah, let's get a photo in front of the generation ship. Why don't we? I say we should come off to the side here if everyone wants to take a look where I am. That way we can at least get the whole ship in view. We should be able to get a nice angled shot like this. Is that someone still completing a lap there? Python, Commander Earlman, looks like he's still finishing up a third lap. Alright, so why don't you guys all come over here?
Does a T9 even fit through these rings?
Probably so. I saw the Corvette fit through there,
Corvette
so.
through. Yeah, it's about the same.
Let's just see what's a good direction to face so that we are all facing in the same direction. Let's see. I'm gonna give everyone a target to lock onto, so that we're all kind of facing the same direction. Let's
you just
see.
face towards Barnard's Loop.
Yeah, I
really.
think Bernard's Loop ought to do well. Okay, so if everyone comes over here and faces towards Bernard's Loop, which, if you're not familiar, that's the giant red nebula straight ahead there. Let's see if that actually works. No, that's not going to work out so well. It would work, but we have to reposition ourselves to a different part of the ship. So come a little bit closer to the habitation rings, actually on the opposite side of the ship here, guys. Look where the little hauler is. Please don't bump into me because I have no shields on this ship and I'm at 74%. Once we've taken the picture, you're all welcome to nudge me to death. I don't really care at that point. I'll be going back anyhow, so that'll just be a quick return for me. But don't blow me up until we take a picture, otherwise we'll have no picture. So I think this is a better location right here. Yes, it definitely is. If everyone wants to come over to where the little hauler is and point towards Barnard's Loop, we can get a very nice picture of the generation ship. Actually, it's going to be half the generation ship. Well, I think if we want everyone in the picture, we're going to have to relocate a little bit differently. We'll have to come over here where my camera is. Okay, be prepared to move one more time. All right, folks. Here. Watch the little hauler. Follow the bouncing hauler. We're going to move over to this spot. I think we'll actually be able to get the whole ship in view. Let's see. I think... Yes. Okay. Come over to where the hauler is. Sorry to make you move one more time, but we do want to get the whole generation ship in view. And please turn off your lights if you can. Ship lights off, please. Lights off.
Lights off.
Because otherwise you will drown out the picture with glaring high beams.
And you'll make the ship jealous as well. I used to have lights like that once.
But then I took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. I took an asteroid to the knee, yeah. That's right.
Alright, everyone, line up facing Bernard's Loop. Squeeze in tight.
Get all snuggly.
Get all snuggly wuggly. There we go. Get this nice and centered. I see a few people are kind of like bumping around in the back there. Hey, whoever's in that Corvette at the back, if you want to just go a little bit to your left and sort of get to the outside or just a little bit more towards the engines of the ship, that will give you a bit more room and we'll actually see you. We got a couple of ships upside down.
We got a very shiny asp there.
Yeah, the orange anaconda is upside down, by the way. Orange anaconda, do you want to flip yourself over 180 degrees?
Maybe you're upside down, Josh.
Maybe I am.
This is beginning to look like, you know, what loot did you get from it then? It's a boss kill. It's a screenshot of a boss kill.
Yeah, right? Kind of looks like it. There we go. Everyone's getting in there nice.
I finished my raider set. I've got raided loot.
Start recording.
Yeah.
Preparing now.
Right, we'll get a little video of this. Ooh, look at those pulse paint packs. Look so damn cool. Awesome. Alright, well, we've got more than enough screenshots here, so I will, yeah.
Everything is awesome, and just enough time to end the broadcast with some salutes, I think.
Yes, well, before we go ahead and do that, let's see who can kill me the quickest by ramming into me. Go ahead! Ram into the hauler!
Run away, Hawkins, come
Destroy! Destroy! Yeah, actually, you know what? Here, let me make it a little challenging.
on! Catch the hawk!
Catch the hawk! Catch me if you can. No guns.
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, God. Good job, guys.
That ass missed.
Oh, Commander Pelkatron won too. There you go. He won the race and he won killing me. Those orcas, man, Jesus, they're fast.
Yeah, ever since that flippin' buff.
All right, so let's go ahead and get some salutes in there. I already see some salutes going in. Let me just scroll this a little bigger so I could read them all. Way to go, guys. Thanks for everyone joining in today. Axel Lapp, Commander Pip, Chelsea Cola, Lee Mitchell, Commander Rod Waiter, Academic Dust, General Ghost, Andy P., Quo Young Woo, Dark Chaos, Matt's Galaxy, Tracer Tom, Andrej Marek, Spooky Lock, Rasench, Grey Test, Andy Parr, Scalebags, Lightning Wing, Charles McManamy, Jamie Volks, Jump of Is the Edge, Wolf, Uktitide, General Ghost, G. Penman. Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me?
I mean, it's almost 200 people in here again, so...
Come on.
Yeah, but I see names popping up there more than once.
Of course. I mean,
Just mess.
Okay,
see
G.
you
Penman,
suffer.
Maximilian Reach, Charles McManamy, Aaron Edgar, Top Blazer, Commander Uther Ragnarsson, Simona Stunzia, Wedgecliff Gaming, Commander Elvin Tree, Commander McBoner, Commander Bodomax, Robert Mead, Molitar, JJV, TH, I can't even pronounce that name, Dante UK, Fat Max, Mad Moss, Sinclair Research, Commander Leon, Bale Will-Schmidt, D. Zormi, Commander Maximus, Fat Max, Andy K, Apache. Oh, darn it. Where did it go? I scrolled down too fast. Tyler Anderson, Commander Giz, August Dark, Shibuka, Commander Leon, Guillermo Dropofiz, Mark Humpage, C-Stick, Dante UK, Spooky Lot, Chris Chandler, Commander Machine, Phantom Task, and Daniel. And I think I got them all in there.
And thank you, Lexic, for joining us, of course, as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Lexic. Thank you for the donation as well.
And thank you for discovering that ship.
And yes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining on. We can't make you an official bro, but I mean, I suppose we can, but you're already a mod on our Discord, so that would... it already happened. So yeah, I guess you're already.
It doesn't
a bro.
really do much though. Yeah.
All
right.
With that said, we will be ending the Brocast in just a moment. I will say thanks to everyone who's watching. Make sure to leave me a comment if you're watching this after the fact. Let us know what you thought of this episode and if you'd like to see anything else in future episodes. This episode was sponsored and brought to you by OX07AF _ AKA _ Enobla. And we will see you guys next Sunday for next week's Brocast. So for now, this is Commander Josh Hawkins, signing off.